The nanny pulled back the mistress's blanket and saw red bloodstains on her clothes. She was furious. How could she make the mistress get pregnant faster? She started searching online for various folk remedies to aid pregnancy and secretly mixed them into the food. After calculating the right days, she would take the 2 children out to give the couple some alone time. Is having a 3rd child now the nanny's responsibility? However, that's not the case. The family already had 2 children. The mistress was originally a full-time mom, but she felt her life was completely taken over by the kids. She wanted to go out to work to get some fresh air. Since the children were too young, they decided to hire a nanny. They interviewed many people without success until Louis came along, impressing the couple immediately. He was neatly dressed and quickly won the daughter's favor with a few words. He had raised children for 2 families in a row, his wife had passed away, and his daughter was already 25 years old. He had plenty of free time and could come to work at any time. He was simply the ideal candidate. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the nanny would get up, wash up, put on makeup, leave the slum, and after several bus transfers, arrive at the master's house. The mistress introduced him to the household situation. As she was about to tidy up the messy clothes, the nanny told her to go to work and leave the rest to him. The mistress left the house, half believing and half doubting. He first took the daughter to school, then told stories to the son. After work, the mistress rushed home worried, and as soon as she entered, she was stunned. The house was spotless, and both children were already asleep. After that, she felt relieved and left the children entirely to the nanny, who was very dedicated. Besides taking and picking up the children, he also cleaned the house thoroughly, organized everything neatly, and even sorted the underwear and socks. The neighbors were envious that they had found such a competent nanny. The mistress's face was full of smiles. The couple had time alone, and they even had time to attend parties and have fun, as if they didn't have children. One day at dinner, the nanny saw that the daughter hadn't finished her yogurt. He directly scooped it out with his finger and made her eat it. The daughter hesitated for a moment but obediently ate it. Then, he made her eat the rest in the same way. Seeing the daughter obediently comply, the nanny showed a satisfied smile. No matter how late the couple came home, the nanny would always wait for them at the house. Seeing the nanny asleep on the sofa, the hostess felt she was simply perfect and treated her like family. When they had free time, they would invite her for a drink. The hostess discovered she gave the child expired yogurt. The nanny insisted that expired didn't mean inedible, even if it was 2 or 3 weeks past the date. The hostess firmly stated that even 1 day past the expiration was unacceptable. The nanny reluctantly agreed. Gradually, the nanny started to change a bit. Sometimes she would arrive at the owner's house several hours early, startling the early-rising hostess. This nanny was truly awful. The little boy was crying loudly on the floor, the little girl was anxiously searching, while the nanny lay motionless under the bed, indifferent to everything happening. Afterwards, he smugly told the little girl, "You didn't find me." One day, the children's grandmother came to play with them. Seeing them having so much fun, the nanny seemed a bit worried about something. On the daughter's birthday, the nanny invited many children over to play, decorated the house beautifully, and played games with the kids. This made the hostess feel inadequate. It seemed she really needed to spend more time with the children. The next day, as soon as she got off work, she hurried home. When she wanted to help make baby food, the nanny wouldn't let her. When she said she ordered takeout for dinner, the nanny seemed very unhappy, and outside, the nanny wouldn't allow the children to eat other people's food. Returning home, she played games with the children with her hair disheveled, scaring them into hiding in the corner. The teacher told the hostess that her daughter had violent tendencies and should be given more attention. The hostess didn't feel anything was wrong. At the husband's celebration party, they invited the nanny to stay for dinner. Watching the men discuss large investments, the woman asked the nanny for advice on child rearing. She felt she belonged there. Someone complained about the filth and chaos of the slums, and the nanny was stunned because she lived in the slums. At the dining table, everyone kept praising the nanny. The husband announced on the spot that he would take the nanny on a trip. Seeing the beautiful scenery, the nanny smiled happily. This was a scene he never dared to imagine in his life. On the beach, the woman pulled the nanny to go swimming, but the nanny let go, causing her to fall to the ground. She said she couldn't swim. The man of the house planned to teach her how to swim, holding her hand as they slowly entered the water. A big wave came, and they hugged each other. At that moment, she felt like she was the lady of the house. But when she saw the man and woman of the house kissing, she started to feel a bit uncomfortable. If she left this home, none of this would belong to her anymore. Next, she needed to find a way to stay in this family, but once the child goes to school, they definitely won't need her anymore. So there's only one way: get the family to have another child. To help the lady of the house conceive a 3rd child, she started searching online for various folk remedies that aid in pregnancy and secretly mixed them into the food. She also kept telling the daughter, "If we have a little brother or sister, we'll move to a bigger house, and then you'll have your own room." She even picked auspicious days to take the kids out, creating a couple's world for the parents. But when she returned home, the man of the house was on the couch scrolling through his phone, and the nanny's smile gradually froze. After some time, She saw the lady of the house wearing a snowy outfit, and she got a bit angry. What exactly does she have to do to stay? During a picnic, the nanny fell asleep holding the child, but when she woke up, she found the daughter was missing. She was terrified for a moment. In a panic, she took the son and searched everywhere, eventually finding the daughter on a bench. The nanny scolded the daughter, warning her not to run off again or the consequences would be severe. The daughter, frightened, bit the nanny hard. The nanny was playing house with the little girl when he suddenly clutched his stomach and said he urgently needed to pee. The little girl thought he was joking and pointed to the bathroom. But he insisted on using the little girl's potty. After she handed it to him, he used it right in front of the child. Afterwards, he even asked the girl to help him empty it. The girl said she didn't want to play anymore, and the nanny angrily got up and left. The little boy kept crying, but it was no use. That night, the daughter told her parents about it, but they thought she was lying and didn't believe her. That day, the lady of the house noticed bite marks on her son's body and asked the nanny what happened. The nanny said the daughter did it, but the lady didn't believe her because she had asked the daughter many times, and the daughter always said she didn't know what happened. The nanny showed her own bite marks, which looked exactly the same, and said she had an agreement with the daughter not to blame her, or else she would lose the daughter's trust. The lady of the house trusted the nanny, though she found it hard to believe that the grandmother wanted to take the child out to play for a week. A few days later, the nanny was surprised when the lady told her to consider it a holiday, but her salary would still be paid. Before the lady could finish speaking, the nanny turned and left. When she got home, she seemed lost, staring blankly at the black TV screen. After dawn, she stepped out of her dark, damp room to breathe fresh air on the street. Then she went to the owner's house, lying naked on the sofa watching TV, soaking in the bathtub, and even making a mess of the place, feeling as if it were her own home. The grandmother told the lady of the house that she should pay more attention to the child, as this nanny seemed to have issues. But the lady of the house didn't care. When the owner returned home, she had tidied up the place immaculately and even left a bouquet with a small card saying, "Welcome home." The lady felt that even though she had given her a holiday, the nanny still came to clean. This nanny was really considerate. The nanny kept secretly sleeping and missing letters that were sent to the owner's house, which made the man of the house very angry. The nanny pitifully cried, and the lady of the house couldn't bear it, telling her to go home and rest, assured that she would handle the rest. When she returned to the slum after work, the environment was dirty and chaotic, with homeless people relieving themselves everywhere. Back in her room, looking at the piles of letters and children's toys, she thought she might be kicked out by the owner. She frantically smashed things in the room to vent. Without her, the lady of the house felt uncomfortable and invited her back. One day, she saw a letter, which was an application for the owner's son to attend daycare. Once the son went to daycare, she would really have to leave. That night, when the lady of the house returned home, there was a terrifying skeleton on the table. At that moment, the lady realized that the nanny was taking revenge on them. The lady hurriedly called the man of the house, who was on a business trip, but he could only comfort her to go to sleep early. In the days that followed, no matter how much the little boy cried, the nanny didn't even glance at him. The daughter played with stickers by herself, while the nanny stared blankly at the TV. Walking into the living room, she took out a fruit knife and filled the bathtub with water. Then she called the little girl to take a bath. Hearing this, the girl hurriedly crawled under the bed. When the lady of the house returned home, she was completely stunned. The nanny is holding a fruit knife, sitting on the floor, motionless. The room's cabinet and floor are covered in bloodstains. The movie, The Perfect Nanny, ends here. In recent years, there have been incidents of nannies harming people domestically as well. They usually are diligent workers with good tempers. The main reason is similar to what's depicted in the movie. It's almost the same. Due to long-term mutual dependence, nannies feel like part of the family. When they are about to lose all of this, it's inevitable for them to feel uneasy. This imbalance ultimately leads to tragedy. Alright, that's it. If you want to see more great movie explanations, please follow me. Bye bye. Yeah.